Hey there, small fry, and welcome to Itch.io Tasty, the series where we take a random word or phrase, put it in the search bar of itch.io, and see what interesting games we find. And of course, it is Star Wars week this week. The Force Awakens is out right now in some places, and maybe not in others, but it's out and people are talking about it, and I want to get on that train. I want to be part of the hype machine. Now, I can't just drop all pretense of being a game critic and talk about the film itself. I'm not Polygon, but I can find a way around it, and it's quite ironic that we are talking about the Force, because this is an incredibly forced bit that I'm doing, because I have put the Force into itch.io to see what we find. So here we are, a bunch of games that, to be honest, have nothing to do with Star Wars, but vague things to do with the word Force. It's the best I could do. First on the chopping block, we have a Deadly Force. It's a level editor challenge. You've got to actually make the levels yourselves. I didn't know that when I first started playing it, so I was kind of up shit creek. There was a sample level, though. It didn't give me a good time. Didn't have fun with it. You just run around shooting at things, and there's a very obnoxious scream when you get killed. I believe it's a scream that's used on the internet a lot, making it memes. But it's there, it exists, it's free. You can upload and share your own levels if that's what you want to do. And yeah, that happened. I give that a tattoo-ine out of 10. Tattoo out of 10-ine. Tatooine. I rate this one. I rate this game Tatooine. Up next is Feel Force Omega. Is this memes? I'm not too sure, but I have a feeling that this one is memes. Basically, the idea is you have this weird blurry thing that you move around the screen, and you avoid the pictures. The pictures that I strongly suspect are memes. Now, if you touch any of the pictures, which may or may not be memes, your feels rating goes up, and if your feels rating goes up too much, stock images of women appear on the screen, and then you can't see anything, and presumably it's game over. You can take Valium to deal with your feels, but mostly it's about avoiding the pictures that maybe memes. I don't know. Is this memes? I don't know if it's memes or not. Anyway, I rate this one Meme Mothma. Sausage Strike Force is a puzzling concept. The idea is interesting. They pitch you that it starts you off with all of the power-ups that you could have in the game in this side-scrolling shooter, and your power-ups decrease as you go on, so you get less and less powerful. Now, there's an interesting concept there, except for the one main issue that I found. The enemies can't hurt you, and you can't hurt the enemies. Their bullets pass through you, your bullets pass through them. I just kind of wandered around the screen, and literally nothing happened to me or the other food items that were floating around. Eventually, all the food items disappeared, and it was just the sausage floating quietly on its own with this scrolling background, doing nothing. Nothing happened, so I can't say I was very impressed with that one. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give that one the lowest rating this week, which is fart poo pee poo, which sounds a bit like R2D. You Are The Muncher is a title that got me very excited, but it's not quite what I was thinking, even though I can't confirm I am a muncher and I'm very good at it, if anybody interested is listening. What this one is, it's about a little pink-purple monster thing that wakes up and moves very, very slowly, and you use the mouse cursor to click near a thing, and its tongue comes out and it eats it. And then the more you eat, the more power-ups you get. You get to speed up, and then the game becomes playable. And then you get a range extension on the tongue, and you get health increases. And then you just run around a map, just eating children, it looks like, over and over again, upgrading your skills. You got to avoid the police. You can't munch on the police. They will shoot at you, and if they shoot you all until you die, it's game over. It's a cute idea. The concept, has potential. But as it stands, It got kind of dull very quickly. Kind of didn't find much to go on as it went on. So I'm afraid this one's going to have to get a Millennium Boredom. Yeah, that'll work. Omnibus! Now, this is actually a demo. The full version of Omnibus apparently isn't around yet. But it's based, visually, it's based on the PlayStation 1, the original PSX, visually. And you can really get that feel from it. And it's kind of got that experimental, weird, don't really care about what we're doing concept. That marked a lot of early PSX games, which I admire. And I actually like the idea of Omnibus. It's one of the more promising, in fact, it's one of the more promising itch.io games I've found in this series so far. The only problem is I have a really upsetting, sad time with it, because I can't fucking play it. You control the bus as it speeds from one end of the level to the other. The only problem is there's arcade-style bumpers, like pinball machine bumpers, and because it's all physics-based, you bounce into one of them and you go flying. And so far I've not gotten past the bit where there's a lot of moving bumpers and the bus speeds up. But the idea is really good. It's just a shame that the demo level kind of really is trial by fire. I'm sure if I had more patience I'd get through it, but my patience wore very thin, and I had other games to get through, so I just kind of gave up. But I like where it's going. I do like where it's going, so that's good. So that one is X-Wing rated by me. Our pick of the litter this week is Ultra Copycat Force. This is a shoot-'em-up, a very standard scrolling shoot-'em-up. You're the little yellow spaceship. The conceit here is that you can't shoot on your own, you have no bullets. What you have to do is fire out a little reflector missile that bounces onto an enemy, and it disables that enemy, and when it flies back to you, you get its bullets, you get its firing capability. Now, there are different enemies that come on screen. Some fire lasers, some fire regular bullets, some fire double bullets, and whatever you reflect off of, you get their gun, basically. It's a really clever little idea, and it's simple but fun, which, you know, you can't ask for much more these days. I liked it quite a bit. It's also fun. You can throw out the power-up once you're done with it, or when it runs out of power, and it smashes into the enemies, which is a neat little way of doing a bit of extra damage. So it's cool. It's a little bit tactical. It's somewhat challenging, and it's completely free, and you can get it on itch.io now. So that is top pick this week. So it's going to get the highest marks I can give it this week, which is a Kylo Ren out of Ren. Thus ends a rather tortured episode of itch.io Tasty, but I did find at least one interesting game for you to check out. I do think that Copycat Force has some legs to it, and I do think Omnibus has a lot of potential. I hope to see more of that maybe in future. But other than that, I think I've done the bare minimum that lets me talk about a big pop cultural event while still very vaguely tying it to video games, just like your favourite game blogs. So it's nice that I haven't lost me old tricks yet, and may the Force be with you. That's what they say in the Star Wars, isn't it? May the Force be with you, don't be a Cylon. And in all seriousness, Star Wars fans out there, you know, I've said before, I like Star Wars. I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I will be watching the film when the crowds die down. But for those of you who have put a lot of hype into this, for you who've been very excited about Star Wars The Force Awakens, for you who have grown up and loved the series that much, you know, my genuine hope for you that it is everything you wanted it to be. I said this on Twitter the other night, you know, I really do hope that it was everything that you wanted it to be. So far, the people I've spoken to really like it, so I'm happy for them, and if you are a Star Wars geek or whatever and you enjoyed it, I'm happy for you. But I'm looking forward to seeing it. I will get round to checking it out relatively soon. Some point when I feel like I can go there and not be surrounded by people. But there you go, fun times. Have a good one, and may the Force be... Oh, and I've already done that. Fuck it. Some Star Trek reference, I don't know, some hilarious misrepresentation. Oh, you already did that with the Cylon as well. I should just end it.